Hi, I'm Tové, your POTS bestie, and today's episode of the Dizzy Diaries is all about what living with POTS actually feels like. Imagine your body just can't keep up with normal life. You're either fighting for every breath, burning through your energy before the day even starts, or feeling that sudden panic when your heart starts pounding out of nowhere. And the thing is, you do get used to it. Not because it gets easier, but because you become better at managing it. You learn your triggers, you plan your days differently, and you can develop a kind of sixth sense for when things might start going downhill. But here's the part I wish more people understood. This isn't just about feeling a bit tired or a bit dizzy. The way your body responds to something as simple as standing is actually very different from the average person, and there's science to explain why. One of the hallmark features of POTS is an exaggerated increase in heart rate, usually more than 30 beats per minute within 10 minutes of standing, without a significant drop in blood pressure. According to a review in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology in 2020, this happens because of several overlapping factors: reduced blood volume, increased sympathetic nervous system activity, and impaired blood vessel constriction in the lower body. In a healthy person, standing triggers a quick tightening of the blood vessels in your legs and abdomen to push the blood back to the heart. In POTS, studies like the one published in the Autonomic Neuroscience of 2013 shows that this response is weaker or delayed. So blood pools in the lower half of the body instead, reducing the blood flow to the brain and upper body. Your heart then races to compensate and get that oxygen through, and that's when you start feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or like you've just run a sprint. I know we're talking a lot about standing and how that affects someone with POTS today, because that is one of the most pronounced features and diagnostic tools that a doctor would use when diagnosing POTS, but naturally there are a range of other symptoms and side effects that people can have from the condition. Looking at an article that is focused on heart and circulatory physiology, published in 2010 in the American Journal of Physiology, it points out that there are different subtypes. Some people have very low blood volume, others have a hyperactive fight or flight system, and some have both. And that means the experience and the management strategies can vary a lot from person to person. When we talk about what does POTS feel like, it's not just a poetic description. It's rooted in measurable changes in cardiovascular physiology, blood flow, and the nervous system regulation. That's why, even though you may look fine on the outside, your body is working incredibly hard to do something that most people don't even have to think about. For me, personally, I can have very stable days and days where I struggle a lot more, and my symptoms vary very much. It can range from feeling exhausted in the morning even though I've had a good night's sleep, feeling exaggerated responses to different meals that I eat, and sometimes this is unexpected. It's not one or two specific meals, although you can often build up trends. I still experience a lot of headaches, a lot of numbness and tingling from time to time, especially when my nervous system is in a heightened state of stress, and alongside this, struggling with heat intolerance, especially during these hotter summer days, and taking a few minutes just to right myself when I do stand up, whether I've been sitting on the floor, sitting on the couch, and I forget to actually do a couple of calf pumps before I stand up. I just have to give myself a couple of seconds to let everything come back to normal. On top of this, brain fog is quite a central theme for me, and I do my best to use management tools to manage this in different ways. I do have a lot of lists. I use notes as much as I need to remember important things, especially when it comes to client information. Everything is written down and everything is stored safely so that I don't forget any information for my clients. Moving on from my experiences, I thought it would be quite fun to do a little segment on trying to capture what POTS feels like. This is going to be a combination of things that have been shared in the POTS community, things that I've heard online, and even a couple that I think personally hit the mark. So, what does POTS actually feel like? Like your brain is buffering in real life? Like trying to breathe through a straw while running uphill? Like the floor has a gravitational vendetta against you? Like your blood is stuck in a traffic jam in your legs? Like you've been unplugged from your charger for days? Like the world just tilted and forgot to tell you? Like your heart is drumming in a rock band without your permission? Like every cell in your body is begging for caffeine, but caffeine makes it worse? Like you're running Windows 95 in a world that needs 5G? Like you're standing in quicksand, but everyone else is walking on concrete? And my favorite, your heart's a YouTube ad on repeat, fast, annoying, and unavoidable. Now that we've gone through the fun part of understanding what POTS might feel like for some people, let's go into the scientific why. discussing 3 symptoms and what's actually going on in the body. The first one is a rapid heart rate, also known as tachycardia. This is caused by the body trying to pump more blood back to the brain when circulation is compromised. Looking at the science, a study by Raj et al. In 2020 discussed that heart rates of over 120 beats per minute were pretty common with POTS patients when they were standing, even with the absence of exercise. And experiencing such a fast heart rate can be very uncomfortable when it's sort of unexpected, unplanned, or unstimulated by doing something like exercise or walking upstairs or walking up a hill. The second common symptom is lightheadedness or dizziness, which is linked to reduced cerebral blood flow, so less blood flow going up to the brain due to many factors. A study in 2013 by Stewart et al. Found that people with POTS often have a 20 to 30% drop in blood flow to the brain when upright compared to lying down. When we think about the fact that the brain really needs a lot of blood to function, we can understand that this lightheaded, dizziness, brain fog, all of it makes sense because your brain's just not getting the nutrients and the supply that it needs. And the third symptom, which is common, is fatigue. Not just a tiredness, but it's an energy system dysfunction. According to Fu et al. In 2010, mitochondrial efficiency and oxygen delivery are reduced during the upright position, which means your muscles and brain tire more quickly because they don't have the resources that they need. It's as if your body is trying to run at 100% when you're only giving it 50 to 60% of the nutrients. You're just not going to be as efficient and have the same energy output. So it's important to remember pacing in this scenario and just allowing your body a little bit more time if you need it, but also ensuring you're using your management tools and providing enough actual energy through nutrition, through rest, and through pacing. So yes, you can absolutely describe POTS in a poetic, creative way, and it's actually fun to do because we have to have humor in these kinds of chronic illnesses. The more we talk about it, the more people will understand that what we're feeling is valid and it is rooted in science. Our bodies do work in a measurable, different way, and it's important to embrace this as much as possible and try work with rather than against it. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to follow the Dizzy Diaries wherever you get your podcasts, and maybe share it with someone who needs a better understanding of what living with POTS really feels like. I'm Tové, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time for more science and a little sparkle.